The Red Cross is pleading for blood donors. If a donor has been vaccinated for COVID, would donating blood reduce the efficacy of the vaccine in the donor?
No. So because these are like cells which are produced from the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. These are separate lymphocytes which are stored in areas of the body, which are considered to be like the air bases of just of a military operation. And no, circulating lymphocytes, circulating antibodies are continuously replenished. So even if somebody donates their blood, there's no fear of okay, you're losing out some of your lymphocytes to somebody else. And even though you got the vaccine, the recipient does not need to really worry about, hey, you know what, my immunity is going to go down because the person was given some external products.
And our next question, have the vaccines been tested for long-range side effects? And for people planning to have children, what recommendations do you have?
To date, the vaccines, the two vaccines which we had, and now the third Johnson & Johnson vaccine, they have been studied extensively in animal models and also in human volunteers. And they did not see any cause of infertility or concern for congenitally transmitted diseases. Second of all, there is still a small catch though, the ongoing studies will continue for 2 years after the vaccines start getting circulated into the market. And these are forward-facing studies. So you have more robust data by the end of 2 years, but by the way the mechanism of these vaccines are, it is virtually impossible to have anybody to have any birth defects or any issues with regards to childbearing women.
Who should get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine?
That's a great question. I was hoping that you're going to ask that question because there are a lot of statistics to work with. So first of all, I'll start with the good data, which is it protects 100% against mortality and severe disease, 86% against mild to moderate, I would say moderate to severe disease, and up to 66 to 70% against mild to moderate disease, which means that this is a very robust vaccine and it's definitely going to protect you from severe disease. This is a one shot and you forget about it, so it's very convenient. But as of now, I would still probably reserve these for younger individuals, for example, anybody from age 18 to 64 without any comorbidities. So we can probably, that group probably should be highlighted with regards to this because the slight decrease in efficacy compared to the over 95% efficacy with Pfizer and Moderna. And as you know, the older you are, the more chances of you getting severe disease and getting afflicted. Even though Johnson & Johnson vaccine is going to protect against severe disease, but even mild to moderate for a vulnerable population with comorbidities or with or with advanced age can be more of an issue. So I would probably, as of now, reserve it for the age group between 18 and 64 without comorbidities.
And should I get the first vaccine available or should I wait for the most effective one to come out?
That's a great question. Again, nope, you don't need to wait. Just take whatever you have because we do not know what will happen with the production lines. And as long as the virus keeps percolating into the environment, the more chances of it becoming mutant, having more variants, is going to put you at definitely great risk. So whatever is available to you, just go ahead and take it.
And several people mentioned concerns over the vaccine rollout in Pennsylvania. How soon could we see the general public receive the vaccine?
Well, I would say things have been slightly improving ever since the last couple of weeks when the new website started running in from the Pennsylvania Department of Health. I would say hopefully by April, by mid-April, we should start seeing the general population being inoculated. Our numbers are still low, but overall, the vaccine rollout is now increasing across state lines. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve at least 70% of the population being inoculated, at least by mid to end June. But by general public, I would say by mid-April, it should be out there.
Is it safe to take over-the-counter pain medicine like Tylenol after getting the vaccine?
I would say yes, absolutely yes, because typically within the first 12 to 14 hours after receiving the vaccine, people will get side effects. And those side effects can be more pronounced after the second dose of the vaccine, particularly if you're taking, of course, the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine. And I would still desist from taking Advil, Aleve, ibuprofen, because it might numb the effectiveness of the vaccine. But paracetamol, Tylenol are absolutely safe. There have been some studies that say that there is a decrement of 5% of efficacy if you take NSAIDs like Tylenol or ibuprofen. If things don't get better with Tylenol, obviously you will have to go ahead with that. And with that, less than 5% decrease in the efficacy is not going to be a big deal. But I would say, if possible, avoid taking any of the medications other than Tylenol for side effects.
Are you aware of any steps being taken to increase the vaccine rollout in Pennsylvania, specifically in northeastern Pennsylvania?
Yes, absolutely. I can talk also about our own system. We had started from, as you know, from 85 and above, and we are right now this week we're at 70 and above. So we are trying to target the population which is at more risk, and age has been the common denominator for these. Also, we are going to places where the people cannot reach out to us. We are reaching out to them. Now, with regards to the state supply issue, they are going to ramp up the dissemination of the vaccine throughout this month, because there is going to be a gap of 2 weeks in which Pfizer and probably even Moderna, I'm not sure about Moderna, but Pfizer is going to revamp its facilities. So there might be a delay. So right now they are going to go in and start giving it more to retail pharmacies as well, who can aid in getting these vaccines rolled out as quickly as possible. Even other health systems which are in the region are also working on the same premise. But again, the same thing is the main common denominator is the issue of supplies. As soon as we get it, I think within a week, all of the hospital supplies, including other retail pharmacies, should be used up on the shelves. So I think things are definitely going to improve, especially after we cross the grim mark of 500,000 deaths. So I also listen to the administration from the federal government as well as from the state government, and they have promised that if required, they might also reach out to the National Guard to help disseminate the vaccines. So I am cautiously optimistic, but I really think that things are improving, at least from the last week compared to this week.